Website might be bleeding visitors and rankings right now, and you might even not know why. Something that often pops up that people don't even think about is just the performance of their site. And that comes down to how well that user experience supports your efforts in terms of what you're trying to offer to people. So what we're going to have a look at in this video is we'll have a look at Core Web Vitals. It's something that sits at the core of the user experience, and especially on mobile devices, it's something that you have to take a closer look at to make sure that your site performs as well as it can. Although there are more things to have a look at, there are three main things that are important when you have a look at Core Web Vitals. The first one and most important one is LCP, or the largest contentful paint. That is basically the big pictures that you've got on your site that take a little bit of time to load. The second one is CLS, or the cumulative layout shift, and that is how much time it actually takes for the little pieces to move together on your site and then to settle. So it's how stable your site is. Then the last one that we'll have a look at is the interaction to next page. This one basically tells you how quickly your site responds to any clicks or taps on a page, and that also needs to be as seamless as possible so the user experience is for anybody that actually does visit your site. Before you know what to fix, you just need to know where to go and look for what to fix. And there are two very easy to use free tools that you can use, both from Google actually. So if you've got Google Search Console set up for your site, that is a great start. There you've got an option in the left-hand menu where you can have a look at the performance of your site, have a look at Core Web Vitals. It will give you a good idea of what might be an issue and where you need to pay attention. The second one is having a look at page speed insights. Now go and Google that. You'll see that there's a site that comes up where you can go into your site's URL, and it will give you a breakdown of how your site looks on the mobile side and how it looks on the desktop side when it comes to Core Web Vitals. It gives you a very good idea of what you need to improve on to be able to pass that. In many instances, it might be difficult on the mobile side, especially to improve it completely, but there are a couple of things that you can do that I just think are essential to make sure that it is as seamless as possible, so that you fix the things that are most important so that the user experience is as good as it can be. Now, the big thing that people usually stumble over is that they do love a wonderful, big, flashy picture or a video that pops up right at the start of your site. And yes, it looks cool, but that is something that is only impressive to you and yourself. That one is usually the one that loads the slowest, and that triggers the largest contentful paint, that LCP. So what you can do is look at ways to actually compress that image or compress that video, or just use something that is a little smaller overall. Now, in many instances, you might think, but it then loses some of the quality and loses some of the flashiness of my site and really how I want to show my brand. But have a look at it like this. I think there are a couple of people that actually use Google, and how unimpressive is their landing page. As simple as that. Have a look at your site, have a look at what makes it easy for people to interact with you, find what they're looking for, and get done what they need to get done on your site. It doesn't boil down to having a specific picture at the top of your site. It is only something that is more often than not something that comes from a vanity point of view than it actually being a necessity for your site to function as it needs to. The next one up is that CLS, that cumulative layout shift. And that is basically down to the stability of your site. How easy is it for a browser to understand exactly what size an image should be, how they should render your website, things like that. So there are a few very easy things that you can do to correct the issue. And one that I just really like is just defining the width and the height um, of your images. If you do that, even in a responsive design, it makes it easy for the browser to understand your site and how it should render that image. If you do that and you then give it specific dimensions as you change screen sizes, that helps the site to respond quickly, and it helps the browser to understand your site easily, and that brings down the time it takes for everything to just settle on your site, which improves your core web vital scores. The last one is the interaction to next paint, and often what people do is they try and go for something that looks cool. For example, they add a JavaScript in to allow a certain animation when you click on a button. And that slows down the speed to actually get to the next screen or to actually do what you want to do, the submission of a form, whatever it may be. So a way to clean that up is just to go and have a bit of a dig into your code and see where you can remove unused JavaScript libraries and where you can minify some of the scripts. It actually helps things to just load a little faster. When you've done the three, you've actually helped yourself in such a big way. Now, those all seem wonderful, but the reasoning behind it is very, very important. If you just have a look at the way that sites get interpreted by Google, is Google wants to offer the best type of sites to people that come and visit these respective sites. So if your site has a better user experience along with offering the right information, you are more likely to be served as the answer. So when you are compared to your competitors, you offer the same information. The next step is they will be looking at what user experience you are actually offering. So go and pay attention to these couple of points. Go and fix it on your site. Speed it up, make it a better user experience, and see the traffic rise on your site.